What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is the third episode of my new series, and we're starting the episode off by showing you a page of the transfer negotiations, all the successful ones. As you can see, so many players joined us on loan, and lots of players left the club as well, some on loan, some on permanent deals during the summer transfer window. Now, of course, if you did miss the first two episodes, then go back and watch them. They're on my channel, you'll be able to see them quite easily. But if you don't want to watch them or whatever else, then if you missed the first two episodes and you want a brief introduction to this series, this is basically a Road to Glory career mode with Racing Santander, the Spanish side in the Segunda division in Spain. They are a 1.5 star team, or at least they start off as a 1.5 star team in the default squads, and we're going to try and make them the most powerful team in the world. But there's a twist to this career mode, and that is that we can only sign players that are Spanish or eligible to play for Spain in this game. So that's the one twist we have, and that is why we are looking to buy a lot of young players. Obviously right now, as we've got no money, we're only loaning the players, but we're looking to try and find as many good young high potential, well hopefully high potential Spanish talent there is, send them to our club on loan, get them on loan, and of course in a few years we also want to be Spain's manager as well, and that's why the series is called Club and Country. Pretty simple, but there you go. Still, we take on Las Palmas for the first game of today's episode here, and the side from the Canary Islands won themselves a penalty in the 23rd minute. Now, 4 games into the division, 3 wins and 1 draw so far, so really good start, but this was not the start we wanted to this game. Raul Fernandez, who's our club captain, as he's one of the very few players in our first 11 that started at this club, or were at the start of this club when we came in this season, and he gave away a penalty here, but it was one of those where you can see why it's given, you know, but it's like he's clearly going for the ball. He's trying to smother the opponent's feet. He's not trying to take him out or anything. It's just an unfortunate follow through. But the referee gives a penalty. I wouldn't have given it myself, but it probably is. Maybe I'm being biased. And well, it wouldn't matter in the end because Araujo did score for Las Palmas. I was trying to put him off there with the animations you can do, which are so cool this year with a goalkeeper when you can give them the eyes and the Bruce Grobbler, wobbly legs and so on and so forth. But still, it was Las Palmas taking the lead there through the penalty and 1-0 to them. We almost equalised in the 42nd minute though. They failed to deal with a throw in, which they put into their own box stupidly. It came to Sandro, but his volley went wide and out for a goal kick, so still 1-0, but a good chance there. And in the 54th minute here, as Las Palmas come through again, we managed to get the ball away, but not really dealt with, and as Araujo comes through, it's a great chance for his second of the game, but he puts his shot wide, and it's still 1-0. So they had a lot of chances to put the game to bed, Las Palmas, as we did to equalise as well. This is a great 3-on-2 counter-attack here. Munir finds Buena Casa on loan from Juventus, and our striker could not score. Good save by the goalkeeper, and it was still 1-0 with half an hour to play. A few minutes later we're through again. Munir finding Sandro, quick little fake shot around Castellano, keeps on going down the right hand side, stops, turns, gets himself inside and shoots, but it's a brilliant save at the near post by the Las Palmas goalkeeper, and it's still 1-0 to the away side. And from the corner we kept the chance alive. Midran crossing the ball in, Munir winning the header, and it's cleared off the line and put behind for another corner, so it's still 1-0. And we cross the ball in again with Midran. Again we go towards that near post. He goes past the and falls to Sandro, and for the second time from the second successive corner it's cleared off the line, and it's still 1-0 to Las Palmas. And in the 90th minute here they had a good chance. Araujo, who was causing me so many problems, comes through as the ball was played forward, and if it wasn't for a great save by our goalkeeper Raul Fernandez, it would have been 2-0, and it was how the game finished as well. So we lose for the first time this season in the league by a goal, 2-0. Very disappointing performance that I felt as though we did play a little bit better, and if nothing else deserved a point, but that's just how it is, and it is our first defeat of the season, and we need to swallow it, take it, and get on to the next game. So it was frustrating, you know, it really was. It's a hard lump to swallow. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you know that you've played well enough to get a point at least and get home with nothing, but it's just how it is. And we know that with this club as well, it's not the best. We've already talked about that. You know, it's not the best team, even though we have brought in a lot of good young players on loan. And we know that even in this, you know, Segunda division, which isn't going to be the strongest, we're still going to struggle to win some games, which we should, because we know that we're not as good as the teams we're facing. But still, for the second game of today's episode, we will take on Tenerife here, and we should be better than them, because despite losing our first game, they're sitting in 18th place in the division. And although I don't know too much about them, they're of course not having the best of seasons so far. So at the start of the season, it's not a good start for them, I should say. So we definitely felt our chance of winning this game. But as you can see by my team, I had to make 10 changes from the side that did get the win, get the loss against Las Palmas, because this team, as I mentioned in the first 2 episodes, has a lot of players which have barely any stamina, and this game came in midweek, so they just weren't fit enough to play the game. So you are going to see in this season at least lots and lots of changes to the team lineup taking effect game by game. And the first chance fell in the 35th minute here, and we won ourselves a penalty. Now the penalty in the Las Palmas game was debatable in my opinion, but there is absolutely no debate about this one. It's a definite penalty. A red card maybe a little bit harsh for Carlos Ruiz, the Tenerife man who gets himself sent off there, but if you watch it back on the replay, it's a pretty nasty challenge. I don't even know why on earth he's going to ground there when the ball's gone past him, but still, penalty to us. Really good chance to take the lead here as Tenerife also go down to 10 men early on, so in the first half, so we'll definitely be fancying our chances, and it's going to be a Concha who will stand up and take it. It's the number 27 for us who puts it into the top corner and makes it 1-0. So Tenerife a goal down and now a man down as well. It was going to be difficult for them in the second half, and you really didn't see them coming back into the game, grabbing themselves a consolation goal if anything else, because there really weren't that many chances in the first half. That was really the first one, and of course we scored from it. And straight from kickoff in the second half, Tenerife get the ball away, Tunkara's onto it, and the man on Lazio scores to make it 2-0. So 2-0 to us 3 minutes before the 50-minute mark, and the travelling fans are celebrating. And really this game was done at this point. Like, there was no way Tenerife were going to come back into it. This game was all but over already, and we were just waiting for the next game really, and the next challenge. But a few minutes later we come through again, just trying to get some more goals on the board here. Oscar tries to take on his man, loses it, but it comes back to our first goal scorer Concha, who crosses the ball in. Tunkara wins the header, but it hits the bar and Tenerife get the ball away. Only temporarily there, we keep the chance alive, but again they just about managed to scramble the ball away. But as we keep the pressure on here, again they guilty in possession of the ball. Oscar wins it back, plays it into Migueles, who strikes it, but the shot goes wide, and it's still 2-0. But it was just the whole plan of the game really. As soon as they went down to 10 men and a goal down, they couldn't get themselves back into the game. And in the 72nd minute, Tunkara is through again and hits the post. We hit the woodwork twice in this game, and really if my finishing was better, we would have scored 3, 4, possibly even 5 goals in this game, because we come through again here. Tunkara finds Oscar, and it's a good save by the Tenerife goalkeeper. Yeah, we should have scored more goals. In fact, it's the negative we take out of this game. I always like to make sure there's one negative and one positive from each game. Well, no negatives would be perfect, but when there are negatives, there's always one I got to highlight and say it's not good enough. And in this game it was a case of just not finishing the chances when we had them, so we should have scored more goals. But main thing is, and the positive is, of course, we got the 3 points, we get the win, and that's good to bounce back after the weekend defeat to Las Palmas. But for the third and final game of today's episode, we come up against Osasuna here. Now this is a club who I would expect will be high up the table come towards the end of the season. As you'll be able to see, so far they are sitting very pretty in the league. So it's a 3rd and 4th place clash here between Santander and Osasuna, and I'm not really surprised they're doing so well, because I swear they were in the Liga last year. Maybe they weren't, but even so they seem like they've got a decent team regardless, and it is a 3rd versus 4th clash like I said. But I still felt confident after the win in midweek. We did revert back to our strongest first 11 as well. And, you know, this may not seem like it, but it is going to be one of the bigger games this season. And it does sum up how the first season will be, really. The games won't be as exciting as you'd expect. We're not going to be facing Real Madrid and Barcelona home and away in some of the games. But, you know, it's still an important game regardless, and one we need to succeed in. So it may not be the most enthralling of games, but we still need to get a win in it. And the first chance would fall in the 13th minute to us. Madran crossing the ball into the centre. Picks out Derek, the man on loan from Real Madrid. Both of those on loan from Real Madrid. And the header was well saved by the goalkeeper and turned behind. And from the second corner, it's Madran, this time into his centre-back partner Blanco, Derek's centre-back partner, and Ruben Blanco heads it just wide. So still 0-0, but early chances coming to us, which is what we like to see. And in the 27th minute here, Osasuna are on the ball again. They play it through, and they do grab the first goal of the game as well. It was just a really simple through ball through the middle of our defence, and a really simple finish as well. And this is the thing I've mentioned a couple of times, you know, the teams we're facing will have weak defences and will probably score quite a few goals this season, but we need to remember remember, you know, I'm a bad defender and this defence is really weak on their own, so it could be a lot of high scoring games in this season, but still, we've got ourselves back on level terms in the 43rd minute. Buena Casa on loan from Juventus getting the goal. Very, very nice challenge on the fullback there, just sprints inside and, well, he's not going to miss, is it? Brilliant finish regardless though by Buena Casa, and it's his 4th goal in the Segunda Division so far. In the 67th minute there, we had a goal kick here with a score at 1-1. We passed it out from the back, give it to Quincy, our left back. He gives it to Buena Casa, who scored our first goal. Fake shots around his man and gives it back to Quincy here. He goes down left hand side, and what an absolutely brilliant first time cross by the man on loan from Barcelona, and he picks out Sandro, also on loan from Barcelona. He has a free header, he cannot miss, he doesn't miss, and he makes it 2-1 to Racing Santander. So what a brilliant ball by Quincy. It's Sandro who keeps his composure in the centre. He scores what proves to be the winning goal as we win it by 2-1, and that is a great way to have 2 wins in a row after our first defeat of the series. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Club and Country, then please do leave a like because it is much appreciated, and of course it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.